My name is Sharif Nabawi. I lead the systems engineering team across Asia Pacific and Japan. Been with CrowdStrike for 2 years.
3 years.
2 years.
2 years.
2 years, yeah. And our team spans across the whole of Asia Pacific and Japan. The first case that he had to go back to support his parents and be next to his parents, and he needed to go there and work back home in another country for an extended work time, right? And we didn't have that concept, or we had it for short periods. So we collaborated inside CrowdStrike. That's the global mobility team, the human resources team, and the leadership together to find a way to get this happening. That included, understanding how can he travel in the middle of the pandemic with all the re-entry permissions and everything. It wasn't easy. From the global security perspective, looking at his security and his well-being throughout the travel, will he be able to travel safely and perform from where he is? And obviously from a finance and taxation and everything. So we collaborated everybody, and we managed to get him to his family, working there during the Christmas for 3 months, and I think to us that's a win, because we really meant one thing: making sure that the employee, who's one of our top performers, gets back home at the right time and work with his family. Throughout this process, we collaborated to make that happen, and I'm really proud that CrowdStrike made this happen. They had schemes in place for taking care of activities. There's groups in CrowdStrike about what personal activities you like, whether it's sports, whether it's cooking, whatever it is.
Interest groups, right?
Interest groups everywhere, and we have them on Slack Slack groups all the time. But we also support that by external speakers coming in and giving speaking events happening within CrowdStrike for that. And on top of this as well, like recently, for example, right, one of the cool innovative things that they did for employees is, they gave everybody an experience on Airbnb. You want to learn how to do sandwiches, join in there. Yeah, you want to go and get a tour inside the particular museum. Here's a virtual tour through Airbnb. So these small things add up, right? But we're very careful that every employee has what they need to do to perform the work if they're doing it remotely in a safe, secure manner, and making sure that from a health perspective and mental perspective, everything is given to us. So there's a lot of schemes that we have when it looks at the well-being of the individual, and we collaborate. But schemes are not enough unless you have that direct one-to-one touch between your employees. So at least your direct first line. You gotta speak to them on a constant basis, understand their needs, relate to their passion, and that's what we do in CrowdStrike. And at the end, we all collaborate. We truly have a mission of one team, one fight. So we feel this mission
one team, one fight.
We have that. Yeah, that's the mantra.
I like that phrase.
I agree if it's surveys without actions. But normally, as humans, when we see that, here's the first wave of survey, and we see leadership coming out on the all hands and saying, your feedback was 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
And so we're implementing those schemes to address that. You straight away understand that, collectively you have a voice. So actually, no, through the number of surveys we've done, nobody came and said, I didn't fill the survey. We really like that, because it's our way to voice our needs throughout the organization, regardless of which level you are on. So examples of stuff that they came out of this, for example, they gave a birthday day off, right? So everybody's birthday is off, regardless of when it is. Obviously, if you want to change it, that was something they introduced recently. They gave us a number of years throughout the year, a number of days throughout the year where they said it's a company day off, right? Because we did so well. Everybody's, it's stressful at the time of the pandemic. Go and spend it with your family. And those things made a difference. Well, in this age, if you don't care for employees, they look elsewhere to find another job, right? It's all about, I believe that leadership comes first through empathy and compassion. If you understand your people, if you relate to them, and be authentic about it, that's number one. It helps you understand, number one, what's their career objective. So you build your work around that, but also helps understand what's their personal circumstances, without getting into details, obviously, but like understand, they have kids, they have that flexibility needed, or they're not, or they travel a lot, or their parents are away. These sorts of circumstances allow you to build a profile and a relationship with your colleague and your direct report, and helps you build something that's customized for him. So I think without that, you will not get a continuity in your workforce. You will get high attrition rate. People will leave, because guess what? Every other company are trying to innovate in that space, especially after the pandemic. Well, we're still in the pandemic. People are realizing that unless you do more of this, you won't keep your employees. The first question I get on every single interview from a system engineer is, what's the culture like in CrowdStrike?
Is that right?
It's the first question that ever is.
And being Great Place to Work certified must help.
Yeah, absolutely. I always mention it, and I
You
say
always say
which
that?
countries. Absolutely, because it
great
does
to
help.
know.
Yeah, we say like, go and view that. But they also want to dig more. Like,
Yeah.
you know, how do people help each other? What's the relation like?
Yeah.
What literally, I've got people asking, what's your cultural values? What's the top values of your team, right? And that to me is new. There's not a day that crosses without me exercising. So if I didn't do that in the morning, my day's very different.
Is that
so
right?
yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. I love
Uh-huh.
exercising a lot.
Yeah.
I love going for a walk with my wife and kids.
Yeah.
And personally, for me, if it's outside of that, now I've started taking lessons on boat driving, and I think it's number one, the real true mission that we believe in.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of companies in cybersecurity, but it's very different in CrowdStrike because we truly believe
Yeah.
we are out there making a difference by helping our customers compact the adversaries. So we've got our cultural values as well, and we live by them. You know, success comes first by taking care of your employees and your teammates.
And that's what makes you a great place to work.
Thanks God.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.